Have you ever wished to navigate the world by starlight? Let's explore the night sky and find out how. Hi everyone, I'm Aman, an astronomer and PhD student with Astro 3D. The night sky is a magical place filled with the most incredible treasures waiting to be found. Tonight, I'm going to help familiarize you with the night sky so that you can explore the universe from your own backyard. Let's begin by understanding how objects in the night sky move. Like the sun and the moon, stars rise to the east and set to the west due to the Earth's rotation. Over the course of a year, the sun's apparent position in space traces out a circle known as the ecliptic. Astronomers define an imaginary celestial sphere with the ecliptic along its equator. The positions of stars can now uniquely be determined by a latitude and longitude on this sphere. Planetary objects in our solar system and the 12 famous zodiacal constellations happen to be clustered along the ecliptic. Have you noticed that stars twinkle? Let's try and figure out why by looking at the moon through a telescope. What do you notice? There almost seem to be waves of distortions passing over the surface of the moon, craters bending and moving in slightly different ways. This is due to the Earth's atmosphere, which is not perfectly uniform. There are really strong winds in the upper atmosphere and they tend to mix up the air and cause it to be turbulent. As light passes through the atmosphere, it is bent and moved in slightly different ways. We call this effect refraction. Based on the density and temperature of the air that the light is passing through, the light rays bend in slightly different ways for every part of the sky. This is what causes the moon's surface to appear to be bending and moving slightly. Using what we have learned, we can now understand why stars twinkle. Stars are so far away that even with the largest telescopes, they appear to be a single point of light. This means there's a single ray of light coming from a distant star and reaching our eyes. This ray can easily be distorted by the atmosphere, moving it in and out of our eyes, making it appear to twinkle. On the other hand, planets and the moon are close enough to us that they appear to be disks in the sky. There are multiple rays of light coming from each of them, and though the atmosphere distorts each ray in slightly different ways, most of them still reach us. What we then observe is a bright source which doesn't twinkle but appears to move here and there, like we saw in the moon video. You can also notice that the atmosphere tends to make things slightly more blurry when you look through a telescope, and nothing is perfectly sharp. Throughout recorded history, civilizations have grouped clusters of the brightest stars into constellations representing animals and people from their legends. The Southern Cross is probably the most recognizable constellation in the southern hemisphere. It's even on the Australian national flag. Scorpius, or the Scorpion, is one of the 12 zodiac constellations and is amongst the largest in the night sky. Its head contains a distinctly reddish, bright star called Antares. Astronomers classify such stars as red supergiants because they are stars at the end of their lives and have expanded to be thousands of times larger than our Sun. Another important constellation is Sagittarius, a constellation which actually looks like a teapot. It's located right next to Scorpius and is quite easy to find. When you do find Sagittarius, you are in fact looking towards the heart of our Milky Way and an invisible supermassive black hole at its core. One of my favorite constellations in the night sky is Orion. According to myth, he was the son of the sea god Poseidon. He was best known as a hunter and for his two faithful dogs Canis Major and Minor. To find Orion in the night sky, search for his belt of 3 distinctive bright stars which line up perfectly. His shoulder is marked by a golden brilliant star known as Betelgeuse, which happens to be a red supergiant like Antares in Scorpius. His left foot is also marked by Rigel, a bright blue star. From dark skies with a binocular or a telescope, it's possible to see multiple brilliant red nebulae surrounding the constellation. If you escape the light pollution of the cities and camp out under dark skies, the glowing band of the Milky Way is easily visible. You can find it by looking for a faint band of light spanning from horizon to horizon, interspersed by patches of darkness. Australian Aboriginal legends speak of the great emu in the sky, which is comprised of these dark patches and is easily visible in the image. If you're lucky, you may spot the zodiacal light. This rare phenomena is seen as streams of light beaming up from the horizon to the west after sunset or to the east just before sunrise. It occurs when sunlight reflects off dust gathered along the ecliptic. It's easy to get lost when you're camping out in the wild with no humans in sight. Let's pretend to be adventurers of old and find our way back using nothing but the stars to guide us. For this, the Southern Cross constellation is key. We begin by drawing an imaginary line along the largest diagonal of the Southern Cross and extending it a long way. Next, identify the two bright pointer stars and draw a line perpendicular to them. The intersection of the two lines that you have drawn represents the south pole of the celestial sphere. If you drop a line vertically down to the horizon, you have located true south and can now find your way back home. This image was shot at really dark skies where the number of stars can sometimes be overpowering, making locating constellations slightly more tough. With a bit of practice, you can always find your way home using nothing but the stars. Isn't that amazing? This is what the backyard looks like on a clear night. There's the telescope. I've been trying to shoot Jupiter and it looks pretty good tonight. If I take you up, there you have Jupiter and Saturn and a lot of other stars. And on the other side, you can see the head of Scorpius setting over the neighbor's roof. The bright orange star is Antares. The only thing left to do is wait for a clear night and go out into your backyards and explore the night sky. Hopefully, you can now identify the stars and planets that we talked about. I hope you have an amazing time exploring the magical night sky.
Astro 3D is the Australian Research Council's Centre of Excellence for all-sky astrophysics in 3 dimensions. Our astronomers are searching to understand the evolution of the matter, light and elements from the Big Bang to the present day. This Astro in the Home series is your opportunity to unlock the secrets of the universe with your own 2 hands. Find out more by visiting our website, following us on social media, or subscribing to our YouTube channel to be notified whenever we upload new content. Now, go explore the universe.